My dad ripped me out a document, a fucking 3-4 page document telling me how I'm gonna end up in jail. I don't really sleep, bro. You can see I've got bags under my eyes. Like last night, you know, I was tossing and turning, got into bed at like 12:30, looked at my clock, it was 2:30 in the morning. My brain was still flowing with ideas and things I need to do.
How did the interest in jewelry start?
Watch traders are a completely different type of breed to jewelers. Oh, I've got some wild examples though. I don't know how good I can say them on camera.
How do you maintain the hard work and the consistency through all the struggles, and how do you persevere?
We're coming for the custom game and for the custom pendants.
But I'm gonna ask you this question though. Everyone says that. So why would I believe you? Everyone says they're the best. Everyone says, yeah, we're a different league, you got the best designers. Why should a customer or just anyone in general believe that you actually are?
I care about my brand name, I care about my customer service, I care about my legacy. I'll be honest with you, bro, like I'm not even lying to you. I used to sit there, I used to do certain things, I used to think like, I am that guy. You know, and loads of police came afterwards and they were all circling around the area, but work on your emotional IQ. You'd be so surprised how bad people's emotional IQ is.
All right, it's a jewelry conversation. Who am I here with today?
Snow Vianni.
Listen, you don't need no introduction. Everyone's seeing you on social media, killing it right now. But I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of questions for you. Yeah, so we're gonna get into it. Starting off, what's your background? Where are you from, area, all that kind of stuff?
Okay, so I grew up in Hornsey, North London. I moved out when I was young. I moved out when I was like 15. Me and my dad didn't really see eye to eye. My dad's Irish, my mum's Venezuelan. My dad's like a tough, old school, traditional Irishman. My mum's just a lovely Latin lady who's friends with every single person. People that don't know where Hornsey is, it's just in between Turnpike Lane, Wood Green, and like Alexandra Palace. I went to school in Muswell Hill in Fortismere before I got kicked out, ended up in D&K, which is in Hornsey, just next to my mum and dad's. Moved out of there when I was 15. First place I moved into was a place in Barnet, and it was a bedsit. I moved in there, and then from there I've lived in lots of different areas.
When you got kicked out at 15,
yeah.
Honest, were you a bad read when you were young, or?
Yeah, so
the situation?
Me and my brother were kind of the naughty kids, and my sisters are like proper good. Like they're both married now, they've got kids, like good jobs and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I was a bit of a naughty kid. I think I was just more rebellious. I've always had a problem with authority, and I think that's why I ended up making my own business, because I have worked in professional jobs and it never really suited me, even though I could do them and I could complete sales, and I always knew I had a knack for sales and talking, but I just always wanted to work for myself. So I think that kind of links into me being a bit rebellious when I was younger.
And obviously, when you're young, a lot of people tell you, oh, you're never gonna make it.
Yeah.
When you're behaving badly.
Yeah.
How did you sort of?
My dad ripped me out a document, a fucking 3-4 page document telling me how I'm gonna end up in jail. Yeah, telling me I'm gonna end up in jail. And I've never been in jail. I've never been in jail, I've got a clean record, yeah. And he ripped me a document basically condemning me to jail, and he's gonna get a phone call from the morgue and he's gonna come look at my corpse.
That's exactly my question. How did you not end up in that situation?
Well, I was very close, skin on my teeth, and it's by the grace of God. I literally, strong believer in God. I mean, I've been in situations where my life was on the line. I've been in situations where people have tried to kidnap me. I've been in situations where I've been shot at, I've been stabbed. I've been in lots of different situations. So skin on my teeth, really. And literally in my eyes, grace of God, I've always believed I've got a guardian angel. I had a sister who passed away, and my mum always told me that I had a guardian angel, and she always looked after me. And I'll be honest with you, I know people, whatever, but in them situations, she comes into my head.
Yeah. And then obviously, before we get into the jewelry stuff, what happened in between that made you become a jeweler? Because I'm sure you tried a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff might not have worked out. A lot of stuff worked out.
Yeah, so I've always wanted to work for myself, but obviously I knew I had to get an idea of being a working man and what a job is and how to actually do business. So I worked as an estate agent in Highgate Village, selling multi-million-pound houses. Then I did recruitment, Hayes Recruitment, one of the biggest recruitment companies in the UK, in Cheapside in Bank. There's over 500 consultants in my building, and I've made some good sales for that, some good placements. I've worked in lots of different jobs and done professional stuff, but I always wanted to work for myself. So I tried doing music videos when I was younger. If you type in Snow Motion on YouTube.
It's still there.
Still there. I was tapping into the Afrobeat scene. I did a lot of Quams and Flavor with my friends from South, and they started doing music videos with me, and then they did a song with Tion Wayne. That's how I linked up with Tion Wayne. We were really young. I did a music video with Tion Wayne. It's all on YouTube still now. And then obviously I grew up with Toxic TV. We grew up in the same kind of house. So when I got kicked out when I was 15, I lived with one of my friends who was in my class called Lee, who got a life sentence, but we all lived together, and Toxic lived in the house as well. So Toxic was full-time living there. I was kind of part-time, but me and him really connected. And I kind of saw what he was doing, and then he was doing it in a different lane, but then it wasn't really something that took off for me. It was going okay, but it wasn't something I was passionate about.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the idea of one, being creative, two, being able to put something together for myself, for my own business under my own company name. But I really had a good eye of DOP, like the director of photography. Like I had a really good idea of what frame looks nice and what kind of images would look good. Kind of probably links back into my childhood when, believe it or not, I was an extra in Harry Potter.
Really?
Yeah, at the train station scene. So my mum comes from Venezuela. She went to a school. So my dad's side's really poor in Ireland. My mum's side was really rich in Venezuela. And she went to a boarding school. And one of her school friends married a guy here called Michael Stevens. Michael Stevens is a director. And he gave us basically placements directly into Harry Potter. My mum did Tomb Raider, she done Harry Potter, she done Spooks or whatever that program was. She done loads, my mum done loads of stuff. But so I always had an idea of the film industry.
Yeah.
I used to speak to loads of people on the set and stuff like that. I've all got the book signed still by like Harry Potter, by Daniel Radcliffe and all of them. But yeah, so that kind of, I think my life is so weird, it all kind of like links in. So like when I'm doing videos of the watches and stuff, like it's still kind of like your creative idea. And then we don't have like a full blown marketing team. We've got one girl that helps us, and she designed our logo and stuff, but a lot of it is me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, most of it is me.
Yeah.
It's all off the back of my own ideas. Like, I don't really sleep, bro. You can see I've got bags under my eyes. Like, last night, I was tossing and turning, got into bed at like 12:30, looked at my clock, it was 2:30 in the morning. My brain was still flowing with ideas and things I need to do. Sometimes I just get up at like 3 in the morning, bro. I just start writing stuff down, go on my laptop and do whatever. So yeah, I pushed this whole business and it's been a 360 roll. I've got people that help me. We've got Dejon, who's come in after we built the business a little bit and really helped push the business in a better direction. Snatch was here when I first came. Unfortunately, Snatch has to spend some time away, but he really helped me in terms of the creative ideas. And he's, bro, one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. Yeah. He's very misunderstood. People look at him and see him and they think, oh, this guy's just some big bad wolf. The design ideas that guy has are second to none. He's a genius, he's an innovator. He studied gemology. People don't even know how smart the guy is. He studied gemology, knows all about fucking diamonds, knows all about all this stuff. So my team is kind of like, we've got such good players. You've got Dejon, who's so good people skills and good at management, good to talk to people and very intelligent. Dejon's he's written books.
Yeah.
Snatch is obviously super intelligent, but just very misunderstood. And our team's grown recently. You just met Rich. He's part of the team as well. He's been in and around watches for years. He's a collector. And then Rio obviously is one of my best friend's little brother that I decided to bring into the business, and he kind of is the face of the counter now at the moment and just manning the counter.
All right, cool. Let's backtrack a little bit. How did the interest in jewelry start? How did you get into it?
I remember being like 9 years old and my brother having a picture of Joel Santana on the wall when he was wearing a Sky Dweller. I remember just always staring at that photo. One of Michael Jordan and one of and Michael Jordan had the championship rings on. And I remember just looking at them and just being like, wow, like it's like a trophy. Like I just couldn't get my head around it. Then I remember being in Priory Park in Hornsey and the dreads came in, Farai and a couple of the other dreads came in. They're all wearing the old school tong, like, that big gold chains and stuff. And I was like a bit of a little shit kind of kid. And I was like, let me clean your chain for you. Let me clean your chain for you. And they were like, I'm not trusting you with my chain. Like, One of them trusted me with her chain. I went home. My mum taught me from young, bicarbonate of soda and an old toothbrush, and you can clean any jewelry. And I cleaned the chain and made it look brand new. I brought it back and it gave me 20 quid. And I was gassed, bro. I was so happy. And that kind of just sparked that interest in for me, yeah.
And then how did it actually become a thing to what it is now, where you're selling jewelry and that kind of stuff?
I worked in a company called Cadenza. They were a branch of Swarovski. Swarovski Crystallized, they were called when I first came. They changed the name to Cadenza. They did fashion concept jewelry, Versace, Cavalli, different designer jewelry, all fashion concept plated and not real solid gold or real diamonds, but it was an insight for me. I worked in a temp agency doing the stockroom, and that kind of made me learn about different types of designers of jewelry. That was when I was really young. I'm 17, 18, somewhere around there. It's all a bit of a blur now. So much stuff has happened. So much has happened. And then from there, it kind of sparked a little bit of an interest. And like I said, I had interest from before. I was really against watches.
Really, why?
I was so against watches. Everyone around me when growing up, when had money, and they were like, I'm gonna buy. I said, don't buy a watch. What are you buying a watch for? Invest in yourself, invest in this, invest in that. And it's funny because when I would jump on the bandwagon late and I bought my first bimetal Sky Dweller, a couple of my friends who we were talking about investing and to do stuff with, and they bought watches and they made mad money in the COVID. So all the watches went up. Mm-hmm. So they bought like 2 18K, like 2 day dates or something, and they made like 15, 20K on each one. So I was like, wow, like
There's money in this.
there's money in this. And not only that, you had money sitting there that you've worked so hard to save, and it's like, this is what I need, this is my base, like I need to have something. But they've gone and risked it, but then they had a really good reward. So
They got to enjoy it and make a profit as well.
and that's what I learned when I bought my Sky Dweller. So when I bought it for 15 grand, I wore it around the world. I took it to Bali, I took it to this country, Ibiza, wherever, and really enjoyed the watch. And then when I sold it, it made £5 profit. The market's not the same. We're not in a COVID bubble, but it just showed me the fluctuation of prices and that there is room for margin in this.
So obviously you started with watches. How did it come to being a jeweler as well as a watch dealer?
When I first came down here, I knew Snatch from before, but he was already down here doing jewellery. So he had a company called Supreme Jewellers. And I started by not selling watches. My first piece, my first items I was selling were Cartier bangles. Van Cleef's, Cartier bangles, custom rings. I did a custom ring for one of them. I used to play basketball, so I played basketball for National League for 6 years.
Were you good?
I'm National. Oh, National League, go, bro. Yo, you carry this episode and go to the court. You know, can reconvene and do it one-on-one, bro. I put 500 quid on the guy. We can go. I'm happy.
Let's go, bro. I'm ready.
Yeah, I did it with my friend BP. He started cheating, elbowing me and stuff. Yes.
What that mean?
But no, I played National League 6 years. One of my friends is professional. He made it to Europa League, and one of my first customers to order a basketball ring off me. So his name was Dean, so he got a D, and then inside the D I put a basketball, and I made it, like put orange stones in it, and I made it cool. That was my first idea of putting something cool together. You make a decision when you come down here, whether you want to be a watch trader or you want to be a jeweler. They're two different cultures.
Yeah.
People don't really understand that. So watch traders are a completely different type of breed to jewelers. Watch traders kind of look down their nose a little bit at the jewelers because we obviously deal with a lot of different stuff, whereas they're just dealing solely with watches. Most watch traders will know the reference for every single watch and this and that, but they won't have a clue what different prong set, Miami Race link or anything. They won't know anything about settings and emerald cut and this and that. Whereas we obviously have got a different type of knowledge. So you kind of make your decision when you come down here. You can be a jeweler or you can be a watch trader. For me, I always like the creative side, which links into everything I was doing when I was younger, the music videos, this and that stuff. So I always wanted to make my own pieces and create my own stuff. And, you know, we started small. We've ended up now with big pendants.
And what was the first big pendant you made? Was it that one there?
First one would have been the Bees in the Trap pendant.
What do you know? Can you say who that was for?
Of course, our friend Bees.
Oh, okay.
He, one of my good friends way before I was a jeweler.
Yeah.
He had a small version of that one, and I've been nicknamed the People's Jeweler because I like to do stuff that is unheard of. So he had a pendant that he bought. I think he spent about £8 on it or £7. The scrap value on the pendant was worth around £1,750. I sold it for him for 6K to somebody else, even though it's his logo, his name.
Yeah.
But because there was a simple play on Bees in the Trap,
Yeah.
that I could use the psychology of it for people that obviously Bees in the Trap. Some guy come and bought it for 6K and then he chopped that 6K in towards his new pendant. So it's kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
When I tell other jewelers that I sold a guy's pendant, which is already made from years ago, which is an older setting and blah, 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 and I didn't get scrapped for it, people can't really believe it, to be honest. Like, how did you even manage to do that? But for me, it's a lot about psychology as well.
Yeah.
And just how you caption things, how you picture things, how you video things. The right person at the right moment, at the right time will be sitting there with the right song on in the house and be like, I want that.
That to me how important it is to really know your stuff, get educated on jewelry before starting to make pieces.
It's
And
like,
also, before you get into it, have you ever made a mistake of not knowing your stuff properly and getting burnt from it, or maybe making a sale that you shouldn't have or anything like that?
this is an interesting conversation because I was having this conversation, me and Hefe talk a lot, innit? He was basically explaining how, you know, he believes that certain stuff you shouldn't take on a part exchange or you shouldn't deal with because the quality of it is not good enough. But then there's a thin line between business and your prestige, like what you release under your name, your status. We are here to make money. So we are here to create crazy stuff. But if I have to do a part exchange for something, which is not the normal bust down date just I would make, there might be slightly less, but there's always a different clientele for it. You've got a business to run as well. So you've got to bear that in mind. There are different target audiences, different types of clientele that people target. We've opened up Vianni Luxe, so we're trying to target more of the premium clients now, and we're in the process of opening up Vianni DXB. However, we still have to facilitate for other clients which like smaller stuff that this is what I tried to explain to him when we had the backwards and forwards, because there are going to be clients that can't afford that 20 grand bust down date just. They can only afford a 7-8 grand one, but that's what they want and that's what they like.
And they're happy with it as well.
And they're more than happy with it. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Is it?
And if you can facilitate somebody and make them happy and don't bump them for what they're actually getting. That was my blueprint. The reason why I feel like my company blew up so much and the reason why we are now is where we are is just speed over greed. Like literally like just speed over greed, like sell it quick, sell it fast, don't be greedy, make a profit and keep the customer happy and keep your pockets happy. There's another trader in the garden and you know, he's kind of known for trying to extort people, charge high prices. And we're having a conversation about it, about your blueprint of how your business model works. And there were a couple of older guys that were in the conversation as well, who've been in the garden for like 50 years and they don't really bother with it anymore, but they're like multi-millionaires. And he just said, I'd rather wait for customers to come in that don't really know what they're doing and I just them and make a nice drink off them and da-da-da-da-da. And then I'm done for the week. And I said, I'd rather sell 5 watches a day for the same amount you sold that one item for, and I'm doing way more work, but the customers are happy, I've made more profit, and I'm gonna sell 5 more the next day. So I've doubled your profit.
Yeah.
And at the end of the week, I'm walking away with way more. And the older guys looked at me and they said, you got the right idea, Snow.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's the new blueprint to the garden. That's the reason why the business blew up. Me, ads that just come in here. We had the same idea of business of sell fast, sell cheap, and just kind of take over the industry. Give people the real prices, man. It's like such a secret trade. There's so much stuff around it people didn't want you to know or didn't want you to get into the trade. And a lot of traders don't like me. A lot of them hate me. You know, like when incidents happen and they think that something bad's happened to me, I get sent screenshots of traders like happy and laughing.
Downfall kind of thing.
Preying on my downfall because they just believe that I'm spilling the secrets of the industry. But I believe that the secrets were being spilt anyway. And it was a saturated market where more and more people wanted to get into it. And I'm going to use my tools to capitalize off the saturation, which is why we made the Vianni Telegram School.
Do you think it's an issue of the secrets being spilled or they just don't like the people that the secrets are being spilled to?
I think a bit of both. When it comes to money, it's a very sensitive subject. Everybody wants to make their money and everyone's got kids and everyone's got things they need to pay for on bills. But so they're going to safeguard as much as they can. With us, I believe that time's done.
Yeah.
That time's done for me. And it's not some secret society, some secret cult of people that are making money. We're here, I said it from when I first came down, we're gonna kick down the doors of this industry. We're gonna change the prices. We're gonna change the blueprints of certain stuff. And I believe we were the first to do that.
Going on from that, I've seen that you started your own Vianni school. Talk to me about that. What was the idea behind that?
I sat there one day and I thought about what I needed when I first came. I didn't have a base. I didn't have nobody I know I could sell watches or jewelry out of. For the $150 a month, you get access to my office. You have your own desk, you can do your deal at my desk. We will KYC your clients, know your client, get to know them as much as possible so you can know that you're getting your money from the right place. We'll verify your watches. So this is something else that I almost bought a fake watch once. I didn't, I was very close to. We authenticate the watches for you. We give you access to trade. So it took me a long time to start getting trade prices and to get the right genuine advice. So there's a big thing in the garden where it's the general vibe is steer you in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I remember when I first came down before I had a counter and everyone used to be at the 16 exchange down the road and they come and offer me a watch and I'd ask them their advice and they say, no, that's not a good buy, no, da-da-da-da. I go get a coffee, come back, it's in their counter. And they bought it.
Yeah.
So that's the vibe. And there's only very few people that are gonna actually steer you in the right direction. But that's what we're doing here. So when you become one of our students, we'll introduce you to our gold suppliers. Nobody does that. We'll introduce you to places that we get our stuff from. We'll introduce you to our workshop that we use. We'll introduce you to so many different things and then it will basically give you the tools you need to essentially start making money. You get 5 watches a day sent to you on trade, which sometimes if you can't make it to the garden, you can just repost that. And then you also get access to jewelry on trade, one-to-one sessions. We're starting to do seminars now. We're going to be doing giveaway Rolexes at the seminar. So for the premium members that are actually active and making money, you're going to get selected to get given a free Rolex at the seminar. We're going to have special speakers come in, other traders. Mazar, who just came in here now also, he like literally followed the blueprint of what I kind of done. And he was like always asking me things and always being like, you know, really receptive to everything I was telling him to do. He was really taking it in and his business has done really well. So the proof's in the pudding, really.
All right, cool. But I'm going to ask you a question. There's like a sentiment around selling courses.
Yeah.
And it's the idea that if you're really making money doing what you're doing, you wouldn't have the time or the need for selling the course. What's your rebuttal to that?
My rebuttal to that is I sat down with a multimillionaire the other day who has 8 businesses. Multimillionaires have an average forms of income, about 7 different forms of income. I believe I can be doing more. I feel like I'm very far behind. Keeps me up at night sometimes. I'm 32 years old. Everyone thinks I'm like 25 because I look young, but I'm 32 years old. And there's kids that come and buy watches off me and have a crypto portfolio of £2.5 million. In this day and age, I feel like I was at that last generation before all this crypto and all this new generation kind of stuff that people could actually really capitalize off. I feel like a lot of people in my age group, they just kind of missed the boat of that, of these new millionaires. I just feel like I caught onto the boat at the last minute and I was like, I'm not being left behind.
Yeah.
And I just focused and put my head down. So, you know, we have other businesses that we're involved in as well. Not just this. So in terms of having enough time to sell a course, I say to you, if you haven't got time to do other businesses and you don't know how to delegate, you have to delegate and be able to take percentages out of what you're doing. What's the old saying my dad used to say to me? You'd rather have 10% of something than 0%, or was it 0% of
100% of nothing.
Then 100% of nothing. So I'd rather than not do the idea, I'd rather make 10% or 20% or 30%. Whatever it is, I'd rather make a percentage than not make anything out of it because I just don't want to divvy it up. So for me, the Telegram, we have somebody who's dedicated to run the Telegram. Dijon helps with the Telegram. I help with the Telegram. Mikey will help with the Telegram. We will all contribute towards the Telegram, Rio as well. And what that will do is it will help the business. It helps the business grow, and it allows us to buy more stock. It allows us to have more people that are networking as well, because what you do is you create a network of people that, like, we've almost got 100 members now, and they all bounce off each other. So they might need watches in between each other. Now they're all benefiting and making money, and we don't want to make any money out of that. I say to the students when they come, I want you to make £1 million in front of me. Just give me my 150. All I want is my £150 subscription, and I'm happy for you to make as much as you can. The more you make, the better you make me look. So let's make you money. I'm not doing a course of learning and conning people into learning how to be a jeweler. You learn on the job. This isn't like a theory test. This is practical and theory in one go, and you're gonna make money while you're learning. I believe, if you can delegate your time and if you can actually put your work in, I believe there's more that I can be doing now anyway. So, and there is gonna be more that we're gonna be doing, so.
There's the old saying of the sky's big enough for everyone to fly. Is that really true in the watch and jewelry industry? Do you think there's really enough for everyone to eat? Because obviously now you're selling the course, there's going to be more people coming to the industry.
You have to capitalize on the saturation. And how are you going to do that? You have to be able to not safeguard the links, be able to help people and help them start making money. Most of our students don't even come from London. They're from out of London, Birmingham, Coventry, and here and there. So it doesn't really affect us. Even though I have customers from all over, I'm not that way inclined to think, oh, it's going to be more jewelers, 200. That's why 99% of these jewelers down here would never have done a course. There was one other guy I knew doing a course before me, Lee, GMG Watches. I think he was the first person to do a course. I didn't get the idea from him. His one's slightly different. But for me, it was my experience of what I needed when I first came. And if I could spend 150 on getting access to an office, access to trade, access to advice, access to breakdowns of my business, access to jewelry on trade, introductions into the trade, it's a no-brainer for me, to be honest with you, yeah.
And there was something you touched on earlier is Vianni Lux.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. What's the idea behind that and what is it?
We're opening up Vianni DXB, which is going to be under the Vianni Lux. It's basically going to be just for high-end watches and pendants. So we're moving into now more complicated pendants and more creative ideas that we're doing behind it. So what we're going to do is just basically have a page displaying that, which is going to be just for the high-end custom pieces. Basically, essentially, I'm coming for all them other jewelers that do that. I'm coming for what's mine now. So I do believe there's enough room for all of us, like you said before. But there's always going to be healthy competition. And if you can all bounce off each other, like me and A Jeweler are close, me and Acting talk all the time, we're close friends. So he'll say things to me like, you know, I can see you coming, bro. Like, I can see what you're doing. And it's good because it puts the batteries in your back, but then it also probably keeps him on his toes, which is good, is what you need in this industry. The funnest part is the journey. This part, even where I'm at now, which is not the top, where I am now, the maintenance is the hardest part. I'm sure it's the same in anything. When you first started and you interview, you think back on it, it was enjoyable, learning, making the mistakes, having less pressure, less people like watching you and stuff like that. Now, maintaining the business and keeping it up is, especially how treacherous Hatton Gardens is a hard part of the business.
And I know this is the first piece, am I right in saying that it's the first piece of Vianni Lux?
Yes.
So talk me through this piece that we got here.
So we've got this is for a gentleman called Brody. His tag name is Gringo. So what we have here is we have a idea designed by me. We have decided he was in two minds between Brody and Gringo. I'm South American, I speak Spanish. So Gringo means basically somebody foreign who comes to the country. And it can be anyone, to be fair. As long as you have like a Englishy kind of accent, they'll call you a Gringo. So
like a racial slur kind of thing.
It is exactly that. So basically, I'll explain. So we used to be in Venezuela, so my dad's Irish. My dad can speak fluent Spanish, he can dance salsa amazing, but he's still a gringo. So how somebody with a normal accent would order a coffee would be un café con leche. He will say, can I have a café con leche?
Yeah.
Gringo.
Yeah.
You're gringo. Yeah, because you've got the café con leche and un café con leche. Yeah, so if you have that accent where you kind of have the European kind of spin on it, twang on it, they're just gonna take the piss out of you.
Cool, so talk me through this piece that we got here.
Yeah, like I said, designed by us, designed by me. We decided to go with Gringo because, like I said, I was explaining his name is Brody. He was going to go for Brody, but he was in between the two. I believe Gringo was cool because I felt like I could do more cool concepts with it. Kind of links into like South America, where I'm from, Narcos, kind of vibe, like that kind of stuff. And so we put big pointers all down the pound sign. Everything's natural in this as well. Big pointers down here, and we went for emerald cut setting with 3-layer borders around the sides, no gaps, everything hitting, and then obviously just a little engraving on the end, on the back.
Hard work pays off. Consistency is the key. Believe in yourself.
Yeah.
Come on.
Have a little look at it.
One.
It's not the biggest piece. I did say to him we could have gone double the size and gone in labs, but he wanted all natural.
Yeah.
Some people would say, oh, you're not educating the client.
Yeah.
He should be going for labs, blah, blah, blah. But in my eyes, I'm gonna facilitate the client, and he said to me, I don't want to resell it ever. I want to keep it. This is a trophy for me. Look at the pendant and you see actually what we've done with it. We took our time to work on the craftsmanship and make sure there's no gaps, make sure the setting is second to none. All the diamonds are true VVS, all natural, cost him a pretty penny, but it's something that he's gonna be happy with, and he can have that pendant for the rest of his life.
So talk to me about labs and naturals. As you said, you could have advised a client to get labs in these. What's your stance on labs and naturals?
Okay, so pendants are the only thing I would recommend you to go lab in.
Not even gross.
Not even grills. I wouldn't recommend anything but pendants and potentially tennises. The reason being is, for me, if you're making a pendant, you haven't got any resale value. You will lose. What I done for bees was a rarity. It doesn't happen a lot. So you will lose 75% of what you paid for the pendant. So the resale value is not great. When you get it in labs, you're bringing the cost down. So when you bring the cost down, obviously it's just not going to cost you as much. So you're saving money on that side of it. I'm sure you've obviously had loads of conversations about this. Labs, the molecules of labs are the same molecules as a natural diamond. The elements are the same, the molecules are the same. One is grown in a lab, one is grown in the thing. There's so many different examples I could give you of man-made stuff that's grown in labs that we use on a day-to-day basis. People won't say, oh, that's lab.
What are examples?
Oh, I've got some wild examples though. I don't know how good I can say them on camera. But there's so much stuff. There's so many things. Like, I'm from South America. We have the Amazon rainforest in my country. A lot of these fruits that you get don't look how they look, how you're getting them out of the supermarket, bro. I promise you, you think that banana looks like that in the jungle. It does not. But there's so many different things you can use that people use to basically use technology in this day and age to create stuff. Weed was found in Jamaica in the mountains, natural weed, and now it's grown in, so are you smoking lab weed? Nobody's gonna say that. In America, they don't say in LA where it's legalized, oh, we're all smoking lab weed. No, we're not smoking lab weed. We're smoking high-end cannabis that's been made by us, by the basically essentially scientists.
I see you hear that point, but where is the line between what's real and what's not real? In this day and age, anything can be made in a lab. Anything can be made with AI.
Yeah.
Where are we going to draw the line between what we're accepting as real and not real?
For me, there's a difference between lab and AI. So AI is like a creative concept that you're making. So there's obviously going to be lines with that. When it comes to labs, it's a physical item which you can actually see in your eyes and in your hands. Now, let's just use the example that we're using, lab diamonds. Lab diamonds are created with the same elements and molecules, like I said, as a real diamond. It's just where they come from. That's going to be the difference. There's a lot of conflict that goes on for natural diamonds, and there's a lot of blood that's spilt over natural diamonds, and there's a lot of dark areas in that industry. Now, if you're going to buy a ring for your wife and you really want it to be natural for your own sake, your own ego or your own whatever, fair enough. If you're gonna make a custom pendant with your tag name on it, respect to you if you went natural, Gringo went natural, respect to you and he wants to keep it, and that's for him to know. But he could have gone double the size for the same price and got it in lab. So it just totally depends on your preference on what you want to do. But the line for me is a very blurred line, because if they start making newer stuff with labs, let's say they start making lab gold.
That's what I was about to ask.
When they start making other stuff, like, I don't know where the line. I don't know where the line is right now. I believe labs are being introduced into the industry, and I don't believe it's a bad thing. I believe I know that the natural price has fallen a lot of diamonds because of labs. And
you say the difference between labs and natural diamonds, would you say it's a similar difference between a real watch and a one-to-one replica?
No.
Assuming it's made in the same way.
I get the point. I get exactly the point you've made. However, the difference is, if you cracked open a diamond, it's gonna have the same elements and the same molecules as a natural. If you crack open a super clone one-to-one, it's not gonna have the same movement or the same engineering and mechanics as a real Rolex or AP or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It is a bloodline, but we'll leave it there. But let's talk about the product.
Cool.
I like how it's not just you making the chain, also elevated it by making the box as well. And a lot of stuff that you do is branding and elevating your brand, especially with the hats as well.
Yeah.
Everyone that's been out has seen a Vianni hat.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the importance of branding in everything that you're doing and taking, you know, just the simple product of selling watches to the next level?
So I've given out over 70K worth of hats. No word of a lie. I checked it with my guy that I ordered my hats off because I realized that I give out a lot of hats. I don't just give out one. I might give you 4, I might give you 5 in one go. Even if I just like the way you said hello.
What, can I get one as well?
Yeah, you're gonna leave a whole bag of it. I'll tell you that for free. Give you every color. But yeah, it's one of my I think one of my special points, one of my special ways of marketing that really helped me. It really set me apart from others. I go anywhere and I see my hats. My pal sent me, Toxic TV sent me a picture of a guy working in a kebab shop in West London wearing my hat. I went to the airport, someone's wearing my hat. I went to the 50 Cent concert, someone's wearing my hat. There's guys that don't even know me that wear my hat. Yeah. I walk past one in the 50 Cent concert, I'm like, yes, boys, what you say? You like repping the brand? Like, da-da-da. One was like,
who the hell is
this? You, bro. And I was like, oh, that's my brand. Like, so he's like, oh, okay, cool, sweet, good for you. Like, but it was still, he's still repping it. So it's still, essentially for me, it's a walking billboard. And people love the hats. They've kind of gone viral. They've got a really good logo. It's funny as well, always follow your gut, because when I first designed my logo, I had a different logo and this one. And in between the two, I put it on my social media and everybody went for the other one. And I just went against the grain and I said, you know what, I've asked you lot for a survey, but I'm actually not taking your advice. You're gonna go with the one that I think's better. And everybody agreed later on that my decision was better. And the logo obviously clearly done really well because everyone likes it.
And I wanna say something about this piece, or to say on the back again, hard work pays off, consistency is key, believe in yourself. All of these 3 elements, I know I can tell you're definitely working hard, as you said before, the bag underneath your eyes, the consistency. How do you maintain the hard work and the consistency through all the struggles, and how do you persevere? Because a lot of jewelers who might have started when you started, they're not around anymore. A lot of jewelers who are here today aren't gonna be around in a year. So
I can tell you for free, yeah, my life, the way it panned out, it was like I was meant to be here, because there are guys that have gone through 5% of the pain or the struggle or the incidents that I've had, and they've quit the industry and they walked away. Yeah. They folded, bro. I've almost lost my life because of this industry, bro. Like literally on the verge of losing my life. And I was at work 10 days later. So you know what I'm saying? As soon as my eye was healed enough, still left me with permanent damage on my eye. But yeah, I put my sunglasses on and I came to work. And God is great. I came to work after the 10th day of being bedbound. I was in hospital for the first couple of days, came out, refused the surgery, wasn't doing it. 10 days after the day I came back, I made a video on my Instagram about a guy who stole a chocolate yacht master off my desk. They caught him the day I was coming back. So as I walked back into the arcade, they had caught the thief that stole a watch off me. That's how you know God's great. I was meant to come back that day. So yeah, tell you the truth as well. I was to talk about him, but he was snatched. Yeah, he was sitting there, we were talking, and he messaged me. And see me, sometimes I need that. He just messaged me and goes, "Are you defeated, bro?" And it really got to me, bro. I said, "What did you just say to me?" He goes, "You're acting like you're defeated." I said, "All right, cool, bro." I turned my phone off. I went for a walk that night by myself. And I just had loads of stuff go through my head, and I said, I'm going back to work tomorrow, and I'm not gonna let anybody knock me off my path. And I'm not gonna let anybody just destroy what I've built off the back of them being a scumbag, essentially.
I know this is a question that people wouldn't really ask, but how's your mental health, like, really?
Ooh, this is a good question. So it's not in the best place because of the business. My Snapchat, I logged Rio into it, like my staff that work for me, and they just laugh because they say, bro, this is literally just a whole platform of you just getting... And
I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing.
No, but it's the abuse I get even from my own friends I grew up with, bro. Like I miss a message and I've got 26 messages to reply to. I didn't see that one message and I get a phone call. You don't fucking reply to messages, bro. Who the fuck do you think you are now? You think there's some big jeweler, like da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, bro, who the fuck you talking to, bro? Because I'm a hothead and I won't back down to anyone. I'm like, bro, what do you want to do about it? Do you want to do something about it? And then that's how I draw myself out. Yeah. So like I've just tried to take my emotional investment out of everything. And this is my advice to people that are growing your business. You're gonna get attacked in different angles, you're gonna have pressure. It could be from pressure from anyone. It could be from your mom, it could be from your partner, it could be from random people, it could be from your friends that you grew up with, it could be from random other people you don't know. The one thing I'd say is take your emotional investment out of it, which I've tried to do because I'm such an emotional person. I'm a very emotional person, I always have been. And I had to take my emotional investment out of certain situations to be able to keep on going. Because if I didn't, I wouldn't be here right now. And I would have let my emotions go with me. So element of bigger picture, looking at your business, looking at what you're doing, and just literally, bro, the hardest part is just staying focused and still being humble, having humility, being able to give back a little bit as much as you can. We try to do stuff like just authentically. We were just filming the other day. This kid rode past on his wheelchair.
Yeah, I saw that.
He happens to be my brother-in-law's good friend. Yeah. Imagine that. Yeah, I just connected with him. We were chatting today, you know, and he's like, oh, I want to get some content done for some stuff, like, da-da-da. I was like, I'll help you, like, of course I will, like, da-da-da-da, whatever. So, you know, help people and give back as much as we can, because if you don't, you can get lost into the fact of being like, I'm this guy, I'm the jeweler, everyone knows who I am. Vianni's a big brand, everyone wears my hats. So I try and always keep it humble as I can, even though you need to have supreme confidence to be able to get to where I got to. So confident that it comes across arrogant, which everyone, my mates will tell you that I'm arrogant.
Yeah.
But I'm just confident. I know there's a line of arrogance, which you can cross the line sometimes, but as long as you can wheel it back in. And the other thing that really helps me is always listening and learning. So, you know, anyone that couldn't come in here will be around me and then maybe just say something small to me. And I might not look like I'm taking it in there, but when I go home and I'm sitting down by myself, I will literally sit there and I'll think about the whole day and I'll think about things people said to me and I'll be like, you know what, maybe he's right. Next time somebody comes in and I'm agitated at another trader for something, do you know what? Let me not. Easy. Just take it easy. So you're just taking your emotional investment a little bit out of situations can really help you see things clearly.
Now, as you said, business can make your mental health a bit shaky.
Yeah.
Do you have any vices, or is there anything you do to keep going, or when you do feel defeated, like Snap said?
So a big key thing for me, which was a game changer, was, and I'm very privileged and I'm very happy that I've been able to do it. Like I said, my journey didn't start there. I've got a spa in my house.
Okay.
I've got a steam sauna that's open till midnight and a jacuzzi, and it's really hot. And it's just proper nice. And I've got a big swimming pool. So there's a gym as well, but I normally do gym a bit earlier, but it helps me relax. So it helps me calm down. So sometimes, you know, you might be arguing with your missus, or you're arguing with a client, or you're getting, I just told you earlier before we did this interview, I got a funny phone call at 1 a.m. of the wrong person, but, you know, essentially threatening me, and it can rile you up. So having that facility for me, I don't need to go anywhere. I can literally go downstairs into my apartment block and I can go sit in a jacuzzi or sit in a spa or sit in wherever. Having that, and also having a good relationship with my mum. So being able to talk to my mum and be able to speak to her, and my mum's a lot older, she's 75, but she's one of them people that can relate to everything and she'll give me the right advice that I need for me. So just having safe like guards around you, just having your little vices like that. I wouldn't obviously recommend anything like drinking or smoking or anything like that. They're not good vices to have, but obviously everybody's got their vices as long as you can manage them and just find the positive ones, I suppose. Gym helps me a lot as well. I go to the gym almost every day. Even if I don't do the maddest workout, I still just make sure I go to the gym and get some endorphins pushed into my body and be able to just, you know, feel good about myself. But the steam and sauna and jacuzzi is a game changer, complete game changer for me. Like sitting in that steam room and sauna and coming out, the way you feel afterwards, going under that cold shower and coming out is, for me, it just helps me relax and it helps me just put things into perspective as well.
And there's that old saying that no man is an island. Obviously people probably see your face and think this guy's doing everything, but there's a team behind it.
Massive team.
Talk to me about building a team and how do you choose the talent that you sort of bring?
So
you said you worked on recruitment before.
I worked in recruitment, but I've been through quite a lot of staff here now. So I had a kid that was stealing from me.
Really?
Caught him stealing money. Like I'm very on point with that stuff. So I clocked him like quite early on, and then obviously I just watched him, caught him stealing, interrogated him, he admitted it, drove him to his house, got the money back, all of that kind of stuff. So it's impossible there's telltale signs. And people might think I'm weird. So I've got two things that are completely unrelated to jewellery that I will test you on if you work for me. I will FaceTime you randomly and I want to see if your room's tidy. If you want to think I'm weird. Yeah. And it could be a bit messy, but as long as I don't see plates from like 4 weeks ago and like mad dirt. And I wish I'd done that before. And I'm not judging anyone. People can live with it. But for me personally, if that's how your mind is and that's how your mindset is, and you're comfortable to be like that, you can't work in the luxury items where everything has to be prestige and everything has to be luxury. So I FaceTime a man randomly and I won't tell you what it's for and I want to see your room. And then the other one is I've got something called it's a new one, it's called the bowl test. So the bowl test is, you try not to laugh. So it's essentially efficiency. So I'll give you a random item to find, which will be unrelated to jewellery. The first one was a bowl, which is why I call it the bowl test. And I will see how long it takes you. So about 2 weeks ago, we gave one of our staff members one at 12 o'clock. Came with 3 options in between. Came with a bucket that wasn't what we asked for. Came with a big plastic box that looked like dog shit in it. And at 5 o'clock, we got a bowl that we could actually use. So it took 5 hours.
Now they failed the test or then they passed it.
They're not with us anymore.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But you're giving the secret though, so.
I've given a secret, yeah, but it could be any item.
Yeah.
So you don't know what the item is. So if you do ever get a job with me and I ask you to find something, if he, and he was getting jobs in between them 5 hours that I was giving him to do tasks, and he said, but I'm trying to do this, but I still haven't done that. And I said to him, look, listen, where did you find it at 5 o'clock? It was around the corner. It was literally a couple of minutes around the corner. You found it right there. If you looked on your phone and didn't panic and kept calm and found it, even if it took an hour and a half or 2 hours, it would have been half the time of 5 hours.
Yeah.
I know there's an Argos somewhere in the area that you can go and find everything you need from. So it was essentially efficiency, a super efficient person. I don't come to work at 8 in the morning and I work really hard. I work efficient. I might come a little bit later. I might come here at 10, 10:30, 11 or whatever, but I'm efficient when I'm here and I have everything lined up and everything's getting done. We're not doing this procrastinating stuff. We're not doing this wasting time stuff. We like to work hard and smart, but we like focusing on working smart.
And then when you see that talent isn't good enough for your business, how quickly do you fire them? Do you give them another chance?
I give chances. Yeah, no, I give chances. Definitely give chances. So that guy, when I said he's not with us anymore, he was planning to leave anyway. He wasn't from the area. It was taking him about 2.5, 3 hours just to get to work every day. And it essentially wasn't really working for him. But that was kind of the cherry on the icing for me. Saying one of my friends' dad's billionaire with a B. I go on supercar rallies with them sometimes. You'd rather have a hole in your business than an arsehole.
So then talk to me about the process of jewelry. There's a couple pieces here. I see there's a chain there at the start of the process. There's a pendants there. How does your design process work from start to finish?
So we like to do a lot of stuff in-house. As you can see here, this is what a Miami link Cuban looks like without the diamonds in it.
Yeah.
So we like to cook.
I've seen some people's Cubans looking like this after the product.
Well, yeah, we like to cook up, so we like to do a lot of stuff in-house. So essentially, you'll sit down with me, I'll get a creative idea of what you want. As you can see here, this is the pendant for it.
Yeah.
It's not been fully made yet, but it's a big pendant. And we'll just get the idea and the concept, and I'll give my best advice possible, what I genuinely think will look good. And then we'll make it ourselves in-house. So we've got a workshop that we work closely with. Luckily, Snatch had been dealing with these guys for about 15 years.
Okay.
So he's got really close tie with the workshop. So essentially it's like our own workshop. So we send it off to the workshop and our own setters will set it. We have our own gold casters as well. And we essentially just do everything in-house. We'll go and find the diamonds. We'll order the diamonds ourselves. We know what we're getting. We know what we're putting in there. We're not just giving it to somebody and saying, can you make this for us? If we do ever outsource anything, it's only from very solidified names that will help us with our business. And that's about it. Essentially, we do as much as we can in-house. We do our own stuff. We like to put our own twist onto things. And so like the first pendant I made, the bees in the trap one, I don't feel like I got enough credit for this.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a very big piece, a very nice pendant. And it did get some traction, but I've seen a lot. From one of my first big pendants, if you take it in, you actually look at the stripes and the bee, and you take the big pointers, all the sides are set. This even moves like a bee.
Yeah.
So, it's we like to think that we're coming for the custom game and for the custom pendants.
But I'm going to ask you this question though. Everyone says that. So why would I believe you? Everyone says they're the best. Everyone says, we're a different league, you got the best designs.
Yeah.
Why should a customer or just anyone in general believe that you actually are?
Look what I've done in the last 3 years. I've only been down here a little bit of time. 3 years we've essentially really been trading. I've been down here 4. The first year was me learning. That is what I've done everything I've done now is in between that time. There are guys that have been here for 10, 15 years that work in very similar offices, in very similar buildings, and we're essentially climbing the ladder very, very quickly. So why I'm saying believe in me is don't believe in me because I'm going to show you.
Yeah. No, I do agree with you that the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
And I believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it's also easy to fake things on social media.
Of course it is.
So how do I know, or does the customer know that you're the real deal? Fair enough.
No words needed.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That was a good rebuttal. I'm going to keep trying to pressure you, but you got me.
It's all there. I got talk. You got it there. So like the business started essentially with watches and selling lots of watches and building the traction with that. But, like I said, from being young, shooting music videos, designing stuff, my mum was an architect. She used to be building straw houses, buildings out of straws and stuff like that in my house, designs and concepts. And I always took an interest into it. So I take pride in creating stuff myself. And you're right, everybody does say that. And you see me, I'm not unrealistic as well. There are a lot of people that do pendants and do them amazing. I'm very close with VC. I think he dope. I think he's got such sick ideas. Vianni, me and him chat all the time. I think some of his pendants are insane. A Jeweller, me and him are super duper close. He actually helped me with that pendant. We did the design of it and stuff like that. We spoke about it a lot, and he was, Snow, like I see you on your journey, and like let's see what we can do to help. And I'll offer him certain branded jewelry bits that I'll get. So like I'll get Cavalli jewelry or Bulgari or this kind of stuff that he's got clients for that I don't have clients for. So you've got to be able to, it's the humility like I spoke about earlier, of being able to admit like what's in front of you and not be deluded. Yes, have supreme confidence in yourself. Yes, I believe I am going to be coming for the top position, but I have to give credit where credit's due. And there are a lot of people in the industry that are making crazy pendants, bro. That are making crazy pendants that I take my hats off to, and I sit down and talk to all the time and pick their brains as much as I can. So yeah, you can't be deluded, You have to be honest about it and see what's actually genuinely going on in the industry. Because there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot of new names, a lot of people that are really coming for this title.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned a lot of people, Snatch, Bees, A Jewellers, Vianni, VC, all these people. How important is relationships in this business? And how do you build good relationships with people?
So it's an interesting question because I undercut the market with my watches, I got a lot of hatred from a lot of traders. Even though I try to do good business with them, and I do, sometimes I'll be received very badly. It's very important to keep your relationships good, but it's also very important to not bend for anyone and, let them feel like you're beneath them in any type of way.
Where would you say the line is, or how do you assess where the line is?
So I put in 4 watches that I got given to me on consignment by a customer whose family, they're super duper rich, like one of them billionaire families. He gave me 4 off-catalogue Rolexes. It was a Lapis style, a Yachtmaster, TBR Factory, Parve Dial, and a Beach Daytona, and one other I can't remember off the top of my head. But there were 4 off-catalogue pieces. I put them into the trade chat and I said, look, these are off-catalogue pieces. I'm not really sure where they're at. If somebody can help me with bids or what they would bid on them. There's been a guy that was watching my social media. The first comment he made, he argues with a lot of people, but he's a big watch trader from up north. I won't say his name. But he, you're gonna post these silly watches and make yourself look busy on Instagram. But there's about 1,000 people in this chat, and very important people in this chat as well. So when he said that to me, I was offended. We ended up arguing and kind of getting into it over the chat in front of a lot of people. Mm-hmm.
Did you lose your head or did you keep your cool?
I kept my cool, and then I lost my head afterwards. Mm-hmm. So I lost my head afterwards, and after the whole conversation was over in the trade group chat, I sent him a couple of voice notes, which weren't the nicest voice notes, and he forwarded them into the group chat.
Oh, man.
Like, he was then one of them kind of guys. Yeah. And I didn't say anything threatening directly to him, but I just said, look, bro, it's not a problem. When I see you, I'm going to see you. Eventually going to come to the garden.
Yeah.
And he tried to basically really make me look bad. So there's a line, like I'm saying. So the line I'd say is, stand on business. Don't be taken for an arsehole. Like I'm not going to let that guy take the piss out of me because I'm asking for advice on watches as a new trader. However, you do need to also keep your relationship. What I'm trying to say is, make sure you have the right relationships, make sure you have the right people. So there's a lot of people around it, but if you have somebody essentially that, deals with a certain type of watches, you've got somebody who deals with lots of RMs and Pateks, you've got somebody who deals with lots of sports model Rolexes, somebody who deals with lots of APs. If you have your good relationship with them people, you're not gonna need all of the trade. And a lot of these traders as well, like they will have the preconceptions of you. There's jewelers I can show you right now that have videos on their TikTok or their Instagram, which are blatant imitations of trying to take the mick out of Vianni Jewellers, trying to get clout off it, or coming to Hatton Gardens and trying to offer us watches for too expensive, and us saying, no, we don't want them, we don't want that, that's too expensive. Sell your watches to us, not to these guys in Hatton Gardens, because we'll give you more for your watch, and and we're based in Canary Wharf and whatever. There's a lot of that goes on. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of people like trying to just tear down your name and throw you under the bus all the time, People that you wouldn't even know. Customers I know that will be waiting for me to show me a watch, and they showed somebody else and they told them it's a date change, or the date's been changed, and I've done a Rolex check and I've checked the date and it's not been date changed. They're scaring my customer because they've been sitting there watching me do 50 sales this week and they've only sold one item. So it's a really treacherous industry. You have to trust somebody who is building a brand.
Yeah.
That's what I look for. So, the people that I've seen you interview, all of them are building brands, which I really feel like you've picked really good people that you've worked with, because all of us care about our name. We're not just here, which are a lot of traders, a lot of watch traders as well, that just want to make their money for the day and go home.
Yeah.
And some of them are multi-millionaires and they do really well. That guy who just came in here to pick up his watch, he's an insane watch collection, but he doesn't care. He doesn't sell to the public. He only sells to trade. So he doesn't care about his brand name. Doesn't care at all, because he just sells trade to trade. I care about my brand name. I care about my customer service. I care about my legacy. I'm trying to build a legacy. I've got kids. I want to leave my kids Vianni Jewellers, Vianni hotels, Vianni restaurants, Vianni complexes. Like me and Stanch have already started building hotels in Morocco and stuff like that under the Vianni name, because we're trying to build a legacy. So we care about our brand name. So like I did a pendant for a guy, he wasn't too happy with it. He was happy at the time, he left and he didn't like it and the bail kind of broke. Portfolio over profit is one of my slogans. So right now we're working on portfolio over profit. And I told him to bring that pendant back and it's gonna probably cost me $5,000, but I'm gonna make it way better.
Yeah.
Just to make him walk away happy. And I'll probably get a crazy review out of that. And I'm a good person like that, where I actually want to give you something you're overly happy with. I don't like dissatisfied clients. It's not my thing.
You kind of touched on it there before, but what does this business look like in 20 years, 30 years?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Or you just in it for, 5 years, make a couple M's and then go out?
No. I know Dennis Pasha, you know Pasha?
No.
One of the first ever watch companies. They're right opposite the Vault. Pasha London, they got 2 places now, one in Knightsbridge and Mayfair as well, and they got one just there.
If you don't know.
Pasha from London. I'll send you the Instagram later. They've got crazy special watches. There's another guy called Oscar, you know Official Watches?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like, those are the guys I watch, do you know? And I seen the blueprint. So, like Pasha started small, started in the garden, built it up. Now he's got multiple locations. You don't even see Dennis anymore. He's sitting in a multi-million-pound mansion somewhere in Turkey, chilling. Vianni is my surname. It's my mum's surname. My great-granddad was a Don in the cartel in Venezuela. And his name was Raphael, like me, Raphael Vianni. And I was named after him. And I always just kind of knew that I had
Big shoes to fill.
big shoes to fill. And I used to have this, like, I don't know, this might sound weird, man. People might think I'm weird, but I'll just be real with you, man. Like, from when I was young, I just always felt like I was kind of like chosen.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, I'm not even lying to you. I used to sit there, I used to do certain things. I used to think like, I am that guy. I am chosen. I am gonna build a legacy. I am gonna build a brand. I am gonna build something that's gonna be massive. And I just kind of knew it. And it didn't happen for years. It's funny because my friends around me used to say that. Oh, we always thought you were going to be a millionaire and da-da-da-da-da, and nothing happened, Snow, and you've ended up getting in trouble and this and that's happened or whatever. And and eventually it all fell into place. And I believe my life, the way it's gone, the music videos, the being around this, building my network with loads of people from having that experience of being on the road or whatever and all that, it all kind of came together. Working in estate agents, working in a professional environment, being able to sell to multiple different clients. We had a guy this morning, Nathan Kindler, he's a massive property developer. Come in his shirt, with his linen shirt, with his stuff, and very suave and very smart. But then I've had a guy that come after who was a rapper, the up-and-coming rapper who come in big glass of codeine and moving all loopy. Yeah. I can serve anyone as long as you can mirror people, but that's because I believe my life experience has brought me onto that. And just being able to be fair as well, being the people's jeweler or looking after people and giving people good buybacks and telling them actually what it is you're buying, not finessing people, actually showing them like, this is what you're getting. This is where this is in the market, etc. I believe just sets me apart from other people.
You mentioned a couple of names before, but is there anyone else sort of like above you that you look up to and you want to emulate, and what is it about them that you want to emulate as well?
A, man.
Yeah.
I took my hats off to him, bro. He's the guy. Essentially emulating the same kind of vibe of what he's doing. But I take my hats off, man. Like Vianni, take my hats off to him. There was a couple other names, but people have fallen off. Yeah. That's the thing about this industry, is the maintenance of it. And there are a couple of names of people that I would have mentioned before, but now you can't really mention them. So your name is your passport in this game. And a jeweler to me is somebody that I see his blueprint and what he's doing. And people have been down there for 10, 15 years and they haven't got a shot. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's strange. It's like, what are you doing? Grown-ass men and you haven't got a shot.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're not doing something right. You clearly haven't crossed all your T's and dotted all your I's. We're not trying to do this scatty business of just wheeling and dealing. We're actually trying to make sure everything is above board, everything is legit, everything is what we need it to be. So we're just focusing on being the most legitimate, best company we can be. But yeah, a jeweler, that kind of vibe is the kind of vibe I'm going for. But it's also mixed in with knowing people like Dennis from Pasha, or knowing people that run big watch companies and other type of jewellery companies that deal with different types of clients. Do you know what I mean? Like, I chat to Chief all the time as well. He's from North London. Like, we grew up not too far from each other. We have long conversations and he'll tell me how much he rates my business, he rates what I'm doing, he rates my content, and he really respects it. And I respect him, and I see his clientele and the type of people that he serves. And sometimes I just go down to his shop and I see this Arab couple come in and spend ridiculous money on a diamond ring or something. And we don't have a lot of them clients.
Yeah.
So it's inspiring. So I'm trying to go for somewhere in between Chifa and A Jeweller.
Yeah.
Of like high-end luxury, kind of Louis Vuitton vibe of what you're doing, but then also dealing with rappers and different people that come. So we've got a few crazy pendants come. We're doing crazy couple pendants for the twins as well, the ones that just blew up. So we've got some new cool stuff coming as well.
And you said that you're looking to move to Dubai. Do you think that's where it's at now? Do you think that's where the future is?
Not permanently move. We're gonna have obviously still Vianni and Vianni Lux here. This is the main headquarters of where we're gonna be. But there's a big storm brewing in Dubai of jewelers that are essentially, smashing it. It's funny, I had an argument with him yesterday, but me and Jay go way back, Sourced UK. The first argument we've ever had is yesterday. I did an interview today, but like he's somebody who I saw grow his business, and I remember him going to him to buy clothes for my holiday. Not that long ago, a couple of years ago, going and buying clothes off him for my holiday, and then now he's selling more items than me.
Yeah.
So I respect it, I take my hats off to him, and there's a lot of stuff going on in Dubai that people don't want to buy from these Dubai jewelers because they don't know who they are. They want to buy off a brand, and they want to buy off somebody that will put them on their socials or have that kind of clout and that clarity.
Whole experience of,
Yeah, so there's a big opportunity there. So I don't see us missing out on an opportunity, and that's why we're going to be opening up. We have got some stock there already, and we're just waiting to set up our office and do all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, Dubai is definitely the future.
Yeah, you mentioned that there's a lot of jewelers that aren't around no more. You mentioned the A's and the Chiefs that are at the top. For yourself, what do you think is like the nuanced differences between you and the people who are just below you? You just can't quite get there. What do you think is the difference?
Below me or above me?
Below you, or even them. What difference do you see? What difference do you see between the people at the top and the people who just can't quite break that barrier?
Basic stuff. People can't come to work on time, bro.
Fair enough.
Like, no, genuinely. Like I said, I don't come in super duper early, but I still work a normal day. Like, if I do come in at 10:30, 11, and it's a little bit late, I'll still leave at 5:36. Might sometimes stay later if me and Mikey got to go through YouTube or do this or do that, whatever. And we're always working. One of my friends is an artist. Like, I helped sort out his EP the other day. Like, we went to the studio. Mikey just sat in the editing room, and it was like 1 a.m. We were still editing, and I'm going backwards and forwards from different rooms, helping him with the management of his music. But like, the difference is working it like a normal job, staying focused, posting consistently and daily online. My stories are like a live catalog. I don't like posting watches on my actual page and just filling up loads of space with just normal pictures of normal Rolexes. I'd rather have cool content on the page, and my story is like a live catalog. I post daily on my story. Even now, with 5-6 staff members, I post the watches daily on my story. And it takes up a lot of time, but I do it because I like people to see that the watch is in my hand right now. I give all the information. I don't post watches from 6 months ago. I don't post watches that are not available. The watch will be available in my hand, the price, the year, all the information. I don't just tell you the model. I don't just tell you that this is available now. 99.9% of the time, you will see the price, you'll see the year, and you'll see that it's available. And if you call me in that moment and you send me a 500 quid deposit or $1,000, the watch is yours. It's like a live catalog almost for me. And that's why I done so well on Snapchat. I built my brand mainly on Snapchat. Now it's in between Instagram and Snapchat, but Snap is less judgmental for me. You have a page where people can go on and look at and be like, you've only got 1,000 followers. You ain't got a blue tick, or you ain't got whatever. Snap was like, that's a really good price. Who is this guy? Let me look into him. He sold a few watches, he's good stuff. So consistently posting, actually coming to work on time and working it like a job, and just not getting knocked off your path. So
just the basics, really.
Just literally the basics, bro. That's why I feel like a lot of people that are just under me, I feel like they haven't broken that barrier. And the people that are above me, I feel like I need to have a more, this is me personally critiquing myself, is we're trying to move more onto the luxury side of things, which is why we've made Vianni Lux, because we need to clean up the brand. Yeah. Because the arcade is good, but it's a little bit scatty. And everybody will admit that. And it kind of has brought my brand name down a little bit, if I'm being honest. The peers that I want to be running with, that I consider myself in the competition with, you won't see them walking around the arcade. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? The people that you would see in the arcade, the only it's like me and Ads are probably the two biggest brands in there. You know, I'm trying to move more into the luxury side, more prestige, more clean looking side of things. So you get the full luxury experience, so that when I do open up Vianni Lux in Mayfair and you come down, it's just fitting into the environment. What do you think about the sentiment that Hatton Garden isn't luxury anymore? Because there's still quite a few jewelers here who are considered luxury, who do thrive. Do you think it's a place for luxury, or do you think eventually you want to get out of here and be done with it? Fair enough. When I first came as an end user and bought my watch, I came down with a couple of my pals. One of them was wearing a balaclava, or half on his face, and he was smoking a zoot. When we got out of the cab, Oh, we got told off. We got told off, bro. I had 2 Cockney white guys come up to me. What are you doing around here, mate? What's that? What's that silly weed cigarette? I take that out, throw that away. You can't be smoking on the road. What are you guys doing? You buying a watch? What are you up to? Why you got a balaclava on? Take that off. My friends were bang on it. They're not. Yeah, what do you mean, bruv? Like, we'll go ahead.
Yeah.
But that was the vibe here. And even before that, I know it was more like that. Now, bro, like, you will literally see 10 guys in balaclava. But there'll be a guy standing across the road with balaclava and just staring at people like this.
But do you think it's
and nobody's telling him to move.
Do you think there's a difference in generation though? For example,
100%.
What looks smart? Like, you look smart right now.
Yeah.
You're wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
The generation where you had to wear like a shirt. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
100%.
Maybe that's just a transition.
It is the transition, but then you've got to remember these kids are, a lot of them, not to be, they're on drugs, bro. They do a lot of codeine, they do a lot of balloons. There'll be kids on the Cairo doing balloons, bro. Loads of balloons in their car, sitting doing canisters and stuff, like losing their mind. They've got no brain cells. So they're not thinking straight. Bro, on Saturday, the first time ever I've been down here 4 or 5 years or whatever. I've been coming down here for years before that. First time this Saturday that just went past, I saw 5 boys completely blacked out. You couldn't see one piece of skin, all on Surons, come flying down the road, looking if somebody's holding a watch, taking a picture to clap out of their hands.
Oh my day.
So, and loads of police came afterwards and they were all circling around the area, but the luxury vibe of Hatton Gardens is drifting, especially in the centre part, which is why we're going to move our office soon as well.
Yeah.
Because this centre part feels the A jeweler side and the watchbox side feel a bit better, if I'm being honest with you. But just this piece here, the Costa, this bit here, 34 to 35 over there, it just feels treacherous, bro.
Do you think there's anything that can be done about it, or is it too far gone?
Yeah, there is something that can be done about it. I mean, you say it's a new generation of fashion, like, you shouldn't be allowed to wear balaclavas in Hatton Gardens. It's a jewellery district. Yeah. Why are you allowed to wear a piece of item that is used for robberies?
Yeah, I get you.
In a jewellery district, why are you allowed to walk around like, I don't think you should be allowed to wear it on the train either. It's mental. I see guys now. I used to get on the train. I don't get on the train anymore to go work, but I used to get on the train. I remember getting on the train, there's 3 boys jumped on in front of me, all wearing balaclavas. I was looking thinking, this is a train, bro. Yeah. This is a train. Like, how are you even allowed on it? You could have anything on you. You're not getting checked. You're not getting whatever. You could pull out anything right now with a balaclava, with gloves on. You get away with it. So I just personally don't think there should be safeguard. There should be some safeguard in Hatton Gardens. There should be some stuff you shouldn't be allowed to do. I don't think you should be smoking weed on the high road. I don't think you should be wearing balaclavas on the high road. And I just think there needs to be a firmer policy on that. However, some of these people that do that are my customers.
Yeah. And
they spend good money. So you've got to find a way of being able to manage your customers as well. So like, I tell my customers when they come, like, I'll FaceTime them and there might be 4 or 5 of them getting out of a Vito or a Sprinter van, and I'll say to them, like, bro, don't hang around, just come straight into the door.
Yeah.
So even if they are wearing balaclavas, they're just walking straight in. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're not hanging around creating that vibe and that energy. But yeah, I don't know if they will, because I feel like this country will prioritize a lot of other stuff. But I think there does need to be a cleanup in Hatton Gardens in terms of just the general vibe of it and the policies of what you're allowed to do.
Where would be like your dream location to move to a store to?
The thing is that Hatton Gardens is the hub.
Yeah, that's what the problem is.
This is the problem. It is the hub, but I don't know about Canary Wharf in terms of, like, I know about it, but I don't know if it would suit me. I think Mayfair would be probably the best place for me. I feel like I could get a lot of people to come to Mayfair and they probably prefer it, but you've got to just remember all the watchmakers are down here, all the workshops are down here. Mikey will be coming backwards and forwards from Hatton Gardens to Mayfair 5 times a day.
Yeah.
So I'll always keep Vianni Jewellers. We're never going to get kicked out of the garden. This is our playground. But we are looking to expand because we need to expand the business and grow more and more, because I feel like the more we are down here and the more things that do happen, it pops down the brand name and it can make the brand look bad.
Yeah. I know people couldn't get into the Vianni school for the $150 a month, but what free advice can you give to people about getting into the industry?
Yeah.
And even just business advice in general that you have.
Work on your emotional IQ. You'd be so surprised how bad people's emotional IQ is. Bro, when I first came down, I didn't have anything. Yeah, I didn't really have much going on or whatever, but I could read people's energy and I could have my emotional IQ constantly working. I'd walk to a counter and somebody would just give a slight look on their face that would look like they had something going on. And I'd just say to them, bro, you good? Like, and they look like when you want to talk and just, all right, bro, I'm coming back. Go across the road and just spend a $5 and get them a chocolate muffin and a cup of tea. And you bring it back to them and say, this is for you, bro. I don't know if you need it or not, but there you go. And just walk away. Don't ask them what's wrong. Don't pressure them, don't whatever. But just Play chess, man.
Yeah.
I can't explain it enough. And a lot of people don't, bro. I have so many kids that would come to my counter and say, how much is that?
And yeah.
Well, hello, mate. How you doing? You all right? Like, you good? Yeah.
I even skanks me. You said that. It shocks me as well.
That's what they do to me, bro. They do it. They do it to me, bro. Like, I'll be sitting on my counter and they'll aggressively approach me, and they think maybe because they've seen my videos and I can be a bit aggressive as well, or a bit whatever, a bit of a lad, they'll try and like give me that same energy, but they're doing it in the wrong way. They don't realize that it's like, okay, cool. I've literally just had a phone call with a deal that's gone wrong and I just lost 2K. And I'm pissed off and I don't really care about what you're gonna say to me. So the best thing you can do right now is just plant the seed. Just always plant your seed. This industry is super stressful, so just plant your seed in a good way and just walk away from the situation and just do it a couple of times, you know? It's loads of times I used to walk around and just buy people coffees and just leave them on the table. But that guy's really nice, isn't he? So he's just giving us a coffee, like, bless him, like, whatever. Now I might be entitled to give him, feel a bit better to give him a trade price on something.
Yeah.
Or maybe help him or something, or let him, he's got a customer come in, let him do the deal behind my counter. Which no one did let me do a deal behind the counter, to be fair. And the guy that first ever came down the street didn't even let me chill behind his counter when I first came down here. But these are the things that, you know, you can do, you know?
And let's wrap up with, what would you say your rules are for life? You mentioned a couple, but do you have any rules for life that you always say or always tell people, things like that?
Rules for life? I mean, we've got a strong work ethic in Vianni Jewellers of, bro, you have to visualize it. You need to see that it's gonna be real. If you can picture it and you can actually see it, you can actually make it happen.
Seeing is believing.
I promise you. So I remember like sitting in my Seat Ibiza and like staring at the steering wheel and like literally pretending I was driving a Mercedes or a BMW. Couple 4 or 5 years later, I'm in the Mercedes, I'm in the BMW. I remember sitting when I first came to the garden and thinking about like, imagine I had my own office, a nice office that I could sit in and actually sit at my own desk and have watches, more than one watch, 2 watches. I remember, bro, coming to the garden and being like, if only I could have 2 18K watches.
Yeah.
Just 2 solid 18K watches. If I get that, oh, yes. This is not that long ago. Got RMs and solid APs and big pendants and stuff like that. So yeah, just very grateful. But my rule for life is visualize it, believe in it, and once you start doing something, things will start to move out the way. Everybody likes to talk about doing things. I want to do this, I want to make a clothing line, I want to do a car rental company, I want to do this, I want to do that. If you just start, you might fail in that one, but that will lead you to do something else. And the work ethic you use for that idea that failed, you can apply it to anything and you're always going to find something you can do.
Yeah.
So it's just stop procrastinating, get things done, visualize what you want to do, see it, make a plan, and action it.
Just one more question. Do you take time to appreciate how far you've come and embrace your wins?
Of
or
course.
Do you get lost in the work?
I am so grateful, bro. I can't tell you how grateful I am. I wake up and I'm grateful. I'm happy and I'm grateful. I literally, I can't tell you the days that they hit you randomly. It'll be a random day, you'll be driving, you have a flashback to how your life used to be. Whether you were answering the phone all day, running around the whole of London, or you're working in a job and your boss is shouting at you, or you're stacking shelves, bro. I used to work in Waitrose when I was a kid. Like, you have flashbacks to things and you'll be like, wow,
Look how far
look how far I've come, bro. Look at what I've created. And look how much the business has grown. Look at the opportunities I've been able to give to my people around me. I just get this overwhelming feeling of just being grateful, and I put it on my story randomly. Some days I'll just put like, I'm just grateful to God that I found my path and I found my way, because I felt like I was lost for a long time. And when I look at my peers that I grew up with, who are sitting in jail for the whole life, or sitting in a mental hospital, or trying to recover from these things, and just the way I've been received by the general public, you know, I'm just super happy with the way I've been received by the general public. And there's a lot of dark side to it, which comes with it. But if you can focus on the positive and you can take the positive out of it and just keep going, just stay consistent, keep going. And just, you know, they just like that old school saying, man, it's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and get back up. Do you know what I mean? I live by that. So
that's a good way to wrap up. Where can people find you? What's the socials, all that kind of stuff?
Vianni Jewellers, we've got a new Vianni Lux page being launched. Hey, Rio, 1 second, Rio.
Don't cut this out, by the way. This guy's been doing this the whole time. You see him making jokes to that. This guy's been busy, his phone's been ringing. I can't lie, I've seen it roll out and then draw. It's not the gimmicks that a lot of people doing on socials.
No, we're busy. But yeah, find us on Vianni Jewellers. We've got Vianni Jewellers website, it's live. We've got Vianni Lux page, which is being launched now for the custom pendants and high-end pieces. Vianni Jewellers on social media, Snow Vianni on Snapchat, Vianni Jewellers on TikTok. Yeah. that's all the platforms we're on. We're here to stay. We're here to last. We've got some new crazy bits coming. The Gringo pendant, I believe, is going to create a new wave of us getting new pendants that we're doing. The Unruly pendant is massive. Unruly Bad. That's going to be a groundbreaking one. And I have to keep up with all these other jewelers that are creating these mad concepts and ideas. And we're gonna have a healthy competition. We're gonna work it.
It's a wrap.
That's it.
Well, I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thanks for coming through, man.
That's what.